What if the quiet little house where Steve Rogers ended his story in Endgame wasn't the peaceful ending we thought, but the beginning of Marvel's biggest nightmare? Because right now, reports suggest Avengers Doomsday is filming key scenes inside that very house, with multiple heroes, villains, and even Doctor Doom himself possibly involved. And the implications could completely flip the multiverse upside down. When Avengers Endgame closed the book on Steve Rogers, it seemed like the most peaceful send-off imaginable. After years of sacrifice, he finally chose himself, stepping back in time to live a quiet life with Peggy Carter. For fans, that little house represented closure, the home where Captain America could finally hang up the shield. But what if that house wasn't just a symbol of peace? What if it's the key to the next catastrophic chapter of the MCU? Recent insider reports confirm that filming for Avengers Doomsday is taking place at Windsor Great Park in the UK, the very location used for Steve and Peggy's home. And this isn't just a set-dressing cameo or nostalgic flashback. According to leaks, the Russo brothers are directing scenes inside the house itself, with multiple stunt doubles and several key actors present. Why does this matter? Because Marvel doesn't bring a location like that back without a reason. If the story is circling around Steve's house, it suggests that his choice to stay with Peggy, once thought to be a touching goodbye, is now coming back to haunt the multiverse. That little house may not just be a home, it may be ground zero for one of the most dangerous moments in Marvel history. And then there's the kicker. Reports say 4 actors and their stunt doubles were spotted filming there. That's not the setup for a quiet reunion, that's a recipe for chaos. Stunt doubles mean fights, action, maybe even destruction. So the big question becomes, who's actually in that house and why are they there? But here's where it gets messy, because Steve's happily ever after may have come with a dangerous cost. Steve Rogers' decision to stay in the past looked like the perfect ending. He danced with Peggy Carter, built a life outside of war, and finally gave himself the peace he had been denied for so long. Fans cheered, and many believed his story was closed. But Marvel has a way of turning happy endings into ticking time bombs. Because Steve didn't just retire, he rewrote history. By going back and altering the natural course of events, Steve set off a chain reaction. His choice fractured reality and created what the MCU calls incursions, deadly overlaps between universes that, if left unchecked, can annihilate entire realities. And here's the shocking part. In Avengers Doomsday, insiders say this will no longer be a background concept. It will be front and center. Steve Rogers isn't just a retired hero enjoying old age. He's the spark that could collapse the multiverse. His existence in the past may have doomed countless worlds. The theory goes that every time Steve made even the smallest change, saving Peggy, preventing small events, or simply living a life he wasn't supposed to, he created ripples that expanded into waves. These ripples formed collisions between universes, and now the bill has come due. That's why, according to reports, Steve's role in Doomsday isn't just sentimental, it's tragic. The multiverse may only survive if Captain America himself is erased. Not because he's a villain, but because his very presence is a cosmic mistake. It's a brutal twist. The man who spent his whole life saving others may now have to pay the ultimate price to save the multiverse one last time. And who would enforce that kind of brutal justice? Only one name comes up. Dr. Doom. If Steve Rogers' peaceful retirement was the spark that set the multiverse ablaze, then Dr. Doom is the storm coming to put it out in the most brutal way possible. According to multiple industry whispers, Robert Downey Jr. isn't returning as Tony Stark in Avengers Doomsday. Instead, Marvel may be reintroducing him as a brand new face, Victor Von Doom. And if that's true, it means the MCU's most beloved actor is stepping into the role of its most terrifying villain. But Doom isn't like Thanos. Where Thanos was a conqueror with a twisted sense of balance, Doom is colder, sharper, and more calculating. He doesn't see himself as evil. He sees himself as the only one smart enough to fix reality. In Doomsday, insiders suggest he views Steve Rogers not as a hero, but as a walking anomaly. To Doom, Steve is a virus infecting the multiverse. And the cure is simple: elimination. And Doom isn't coming alone. Just as the Avengers once assembled, Doom is rumored to be building his own strike team, a group designed to wipe out the people responsible for incursions. Imagine that for a second, the ultimate mirror of Earth's mightiest heroes, but bent to Doom's ruthless vision. This makes Doom far scarier than any villain the Avengers have faced before. He's not fighting for domination or glory, he's fighting for survival itself, on a scale that makes him unstoppable. If entire universes must burn just to save one timeline, Doom won't hesitate. And when Steve Rogers ends up on that list of necessary casualties, the MCU's most iconic hero finds himself facing the most dangerous mind in Marvel history. And that's where the 4 mysterious actors come in. Now, this is where things get seriously intriguing. Reports from the Doomsday set confirm that filming inside Steve Rogers' house isn't just about him and Peggy Carter. No insiders swear there were 4 additional actors on site, each with their own stunt doubles. Think about that for a second. Marvel doesn't hire stunt teams for quiet living room dialogue. This means action, conflict, and potentially even destruction right inside the house that once symbolized Steve's peace. But who exactly are these four? The first and most popular theory is the TVA squad. Characters like Sylvie, Mobius, B-15, and OB are already deeply tied to multiversal cleanup, and if Steve Rogers created an incursion, the TVA would be the logical first responders. But here's the catch. If they're there, it won't just be an arrest. Stunt doubles suggest a fight, and that would mean Steve Rogers or whoever else is inside that house isn't going quietly. Another possibility is the Sorcerer connection. Doctor Strange and Clea were last seen navigating the chaos of alternate realities, and they have both the knowledge and the motive to confront Steve about the danger he's caused. Imagine Strange, once Steve's ally in Infinity War, now forced to take him down for the greater good. That would be a heartbreaking reversal.
Not in the least.
But what if Marvel throws a curveball? Some fans believe Captain Marvel could appear in this scene, given her cosmic ties and ability to traverse realities. She's a powerhouse, and if she shows up alongside the others, the fight inside that small suburban house could turn into a multiversal brawl. And then, of course, there's the wild card, Deadpool. He's obsessed with Captain America in the comics, idolizing him to almost comedic extremes. If Deadpool appears here, it wouldn't just be for laughs. It could set up a shocking, emotional sacrifice that flips the audience's expectations of his character. Add Sam Wilson into that mix, with his long history of friendship and respect for Steve, and you have the makings of a deeply personal confrontation. 4 mystery figures, 4 stunt doubles, and a house that suddenly feels less like a home and more like a battlefield. But whoever they are, one thing is clear, this won't just be a conversation over tea. The presence of stunt doubles practically screams action. This isn't just dialogue, it's going to be a fight scene, explosion, or major showdown. Picture this. Doom storms Steve's home to erase him from the timeline. Deadpool, reckless as ever, might throw himself in front of the attack to save his hero. Or maybe Steve Rogers himself refuses to go quietly, grabbing Mjolnir for one final fight. Whispers even suggest Steve could reveal something shocking, that he still holds fragments of the Infinity Stones. Imagine Rogers wielding Mjolnir and the stones against Doom, Strange, and Clea in one last explosive stand. If Marvel dares to go that far, it could rival Endgame's biggest crowd-cheering moments. But this isn't just about Steve. Behind the scenes, there are hints of something bigger at play. Rumors say Franklin Richards, yes, the son of Reed Richards, could be helping Doom travel across universes using his cosmic abilities. The TVA, meanwhile, might be dragging characters in and out of timelines to stabilize reality. All of this connects Doomsday to Secret Wars, setting up the ultimate multiversal war. Steve's house, once a symbol of peace, could become ground zero for that battle. And just when you think this can't get any wilder, fan theories take it even further. Some fans believe the scene could play out like this. Steve, sitting calmly at home, is confronted by Doom, Strange, and Clea. They tell him his time is up, that his existence is threatening reality. But Steve isn't backing down. He picks up Mjolnir, reveals the hidden stones, and launches into a fight against 3 of the most powerful sorcerers in the multiverse. Explosions, reality-shattering blows, the kind of spectacle that would make theaters erupt like they did in Endgame. And then, the emotional kicker. Deadpool, inspired by his love for Cap, sacrifices himself to buy Rogers a few more seconds. It's wild, heartbreaking, and exactly the kind of fan service Marvel knows would send shockwaves through the fandom. Which leaves us with the biggest question of all. So what's really happening inside Steve Rogers' house? Is Peggy Carter even there, or has she been erased by the TVA? Are the 4 mystery characters heroes, villains, or both? And most importantly, will Marvel truly bring back Steve Rogers just to kill him off for good, or are they hiding an even bigger twist? One thing's for sure, if these leaks are true, Avengers Doomsday won't just revisit the past, it'll rewrite the entire future of the MCU.